Hello, thank you for joining the Take Charge, Live Well's webinar on smoking cessation. Whether you want to quit, are in the process of quitting, or are supporting someone through a quit, the tips provided today will help promote a successful quit. Since people have been trying to quit smoking tobacco, there has been a debate whether the nicotine in tobacco is an addiction or a habit. Before we get to the answer, let's complete a quick exercise. Please take a moment to close your eyes and think about the habits that are part of your daily routine. Specifically, think about the habits that you do multiple times a day. Some examples may include walking the dog in the morning and evening, driving to and from work, or brushing your teeth in the morning and at night. The tobacco users and ex-tobacco users listening to this may have an idea where we are going with this exercise. Using tobacco, especially smoking cigarettes, is not just one habit. It's multiple habits fueled by addiction. During this presentation, we will discuss this concept to shed some light on the challenges tobacco users face when trying to quit. For non-smokers, it can be challenging to understand why someone would roll up a dried plant leaf and smoke it. The answer is addiction. Nicotine, the addictive drug in tobacco products, reacts in the brain to release dopamine and serotonin. These make us feel good and reinforces tobacco users to keep using. Cigarette nicotine hits the brain in 10 seconds, while smokeless tobacco and cigar nicotine hits the brain in 5 to 10 minutes. Since there are 10 puffs for every cigarette, if someone smokes 20 cigarettes a day, it will equal 200 possible triggers a day. Most smokers want to quit. They are just not sure if they can. Around 70% of smokers want to quit smoking, and most have already made a quit attempt in the past. On average, it takes someone 3 to 7 quit attempts to be completely tobacco-free. Quitting smoking can be really difficult, and conventional wisdom is often wrong. Many smokers are given a hard time if they don't quit cold turkey, which is unassisted. Long-term quit rates are really relatively low at 2 to 10% when people try to quit with cold turkey. Getting support for a quit can double the odds of quitting successfully for the long term. Various types of support are helpful for different people during a quit. Support often comes from family, friends, colleagues, support groups, and/or ex-tobacco users. The Take Charge, Live Well program offers support in the form of the QuitNet program. QuitNet offers specialized health coaching and the world's largest online community of people who are currently trying to quit and people who have successfully quit. We will talk about this a little later. There is also the Wellbeing Connect portal with available tools, trackers, and articles. If you are in the process of quitting or are supporting someone who is trying to quit, it may be helpful to be aware of these tips and lifestyle changes. Many tobacco users use tobacco to manage stress. Learning new ways to manage stress during and after a quit can be challenging. When someone is trying to quit, remembering the 5 Ds can help someone with the cigarette cravings or the nicotine cravings, as well as managing stress. The first one is to drink water. Drinking water, especially cold water, really works to quiet cravings. Delay. Remember, most urges only last a few minutes. Distract. You want to keep both your hands and mind busy. Deep breathe. Deep breathing is relaxing and replenishing. And finally, discuss. Make a phone call to your health coach, log on to QuitNet.com, or talk it out with someone you know. Interestingly, the foods and beverages someone eats during a quit can affect their quit. Foods to consume are water. Water intake flushes nicotine and other chemicals found in cigarettes out of the body and can help minimize withdrawal symptoms. Ice water specifically helps to decrease cigarette cravings. Eating fruit. The sugars in fruit release dopamine, and since nicotine does too, eating fruit can help with the craving. Eat plenty of raw vegetables. The fiber in vegetables can help with tobacco cravings. There's just something about the crunch of vegetables that seem to help cigarette users with their cravings. And cinnamon can also help with the cravings. Here are a list of foods to avoid. Caffeine and carbonated beverages. Caffeine and nicotine chemically bind together in the brain to make tobacco users feel better when both are present. Reduction of both can help tobacco cravings. Reduction of caffeine during a quit can reduce the possibility of caffeine toxicity, which can happen when someone stops using tobacco but continues to drink the same amount of caffeine. Alcohol. Alcohol, when combined with nicotine in the brain, makes tobacco users feel better. Drinking just 2 alcoholic drinks is enough to start clouding judgment, which can lead to relapses. You'll also want to avoid high-fat foods like meat and cheeses, which can increase cravings. Exercise is a great way to help with tobacco cravings, especially when it is something you enjoy. Going for a walk can be a great substitute instead of going out for a smoke break at work or at home. Weight gain concerns are often common during a quit. Therefore, getting some exercise is a great way to help manage weight while at the same time helping to reduce tobacco cravings. Electronic cigarettes are becoming increasingly popular. Electronic cigarettes can be considered tobacco use as well. Electronic cigarettes have a cartridge that is full of liquid. That liquid is turned into vapor by the battery, which can either be disposable or rechargeable. Most electronic cigarettes contain tobacco powder that has been added to the liquid, which is vaporized. There are some electronic cigarettes or e-cigs that contain water vapor that do not have any nicotine. E-cigs can vary in the amount of nicotine they contain, even with the same brand and same cartridge. This is one of the reasons why we caution people on using e-cigs. Since the amount of nicotine can vary, it can make it even harder to quit smoking. Another reason is that tobacco is still inhaled when you smoke an e-cig, which usually carries nicotine to the brain. It continues to reinforce smokers to keep smoking during their trigger times instead of changing their smoking habits. Lastly, e-cigs are considered tobacco products and are not regulated by the FDA. This means we are not 100% sure what is in e-cigs. Caution should be used if someone starts using an electronic cigarette. For some people, electronic cigarettes can be helpful in cutting down the number of cigarettes used a day. However, for others, the electronic cigarette pushes smokers back into smoking. Sometimes it can be tough for a person to open up and talk freely about their quit. This could be for a variety of reasons. Sometimes it's out of fear of disappointing others and or themselves. It could also be because they don't want to bother anyone with their quit. For some people, they simply don't want help with their quit and feel they should do it on their own. It can be difficult to know when or how to support someone trying to quit tobacco without pushing them away. Try these 4 tips to help support someone. First, remember to celebrate. A compliment can go a long way to recognize the positive changes someone has made. Remember to listen. Quitting smoking is about them, not you. So listen to what they have to say. If they ask you a question, be quiet and give them time, or if you ask a question, be quiet and give them time to answer. Resist the urge to insert your own comments. Lectures, nagging, and scolding won't help to help them quit. In fact, it could actually put strain on your relationship, and then they may not come to you when they really need the support. Understand, smoking cigarettes isn't just a bad habit. It's a serious, complicated addiction. That makes quitting smoking one of the biggest challenges many smokers will face. Deciding to quit doesn't mean all thoughts of smoking immediately vanish. It takes time for cravings to fade and it can take a person more than one try to successfully quit. Most people who quit don't quit cold turkey on their own. They get a lot of help from family, friends, and significant others. Finally, be patient. For example, you could say something like, I can tell this is hard on you, but I'm proud of you for sticking to it. Let's do something fun to celebrate how far you've come. Fortunately, people who stop smoking can greatly reduce their risk for disease and premature death. And the younger someone is when he or she quits, the better their chance of avoiding these problems. By quitting smoking, someone will lower their risk for lung and other types of cancers, reduce their risk for coronary heart disease, stroke, and other vascular disease, reduce respiratory symptoms such as coughing, wheezing, and shortness of breath, reduce the risk of developing chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, or COPD, one of the leading causes of death in the United States, or reduce the risk of infertility for men and women. There are several resources that are available to you through the Take Charge, Live Well program. One of the main ones is QuitNet. QuitNet gives members a flexibility to choose their quit experience that best fits their personal needs with a mix of support options, which include personal coaching, counseling and support phone calls with a trained health coaching team, online tools and support, which include 24/7 online access to personalized quitting plans, self-assessment tools, expert advice, quit buddies, and more. A quit guide, which is a colorful printed guide filled with everything you need to know about quitting tobacco, from making the decision to quit all the way to staying quit. The booklet is mailed to you after your first call with a health coach through the QuitNet program. And quit medications, free over-the-counter and prescription medications, including nicotine patches, gum, and lozenges, are available when working with a health coach. And then finally, quit tip emails, which include information and tips to help you stay quit, and to help you stay quit and give you extra support, and they're sent right to your email inbox. Telephonic Health Coaching is also available. If you focus on tobacco cessation through the QuitNet program with your phone coaching, you'll discuss different timing of your calls. The first one's usually about 20 minutes, and then each call after that is about 10 to 15 minutes. After 4 calls, you can earn a $200 reward. And if you are actively participating in health coaching, then you are able to get the free nicotine replacement therapy, including the medications that we discussed on the previous slide. If you're interested in starting, feel free to call the number at the bottom of the slide here. It's 866-556-2288. Here are some additional resources that you might find helpful. The Take Charge, Live Well website is a great tool, and there's an actual dedicated smoking cessation page that explains the QuitNet program as well. Smokefree.gov and the Center for Disease Control are also good resources. Thank you for joining today, and have a great rest of the day.